Now, Cuba is facing its gravest crisis in decades as fuel shortages, blackouts, and sanctions bring life in the island to a standstill.
Emergency measures have been effected to conserve fuel as supplies dwindle under U.S. economic pressure. The government has closed universities, reduced school hours and the work week. They've cut public transportation and even limited fuel sales.
Power outages lasting 12 to 15 hours a day have become a routine in Havana and across the island. Energy analysts and international trade monitoring agencies say Cuba's fuel reserves are just enough to meet 3 weeks of total domestic demand.
The electricity shortfall has disrupted water pumping and food storage as the country relies on imported fuels for roughly 95% of its energy needs. Cuba warned international airlines that jet fuel will no longer be available on the island. According to a notice to aviation, the shortfall is set to last from February 10th through March 11th and comes just days after top officials said air travel would not be impacted by a fuel rationing plan.
And this has led airlines, including Air Canada, to suspend its service to Cuba. The carrier said it plans to fly empty planes to pick up approximately 3,000 passengers on the island and return them home.
Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum confirmed that crude oil shipments from her country to Cuba have been halted. And this is while Mexico seeks ways to resume them following U.S. threats to impose tariffs on nations supplying oil to the Caribbean island.
This sanction being imposed on countries that sell oil to Cuba is very unjust, very unfair. It's not right because sanctions that affect the people are not right. You can agree or disagree with Cuba's government regime, but the people should never be affected.
Cuba has long depended on Venezuela for much of its jet fuel, but it has received no crude or refined products since mid-December, when the U.S. moved to block Venezuela's exports.
Donald Trump has since vowed Cuba will receive no more Venezuelan oil and has threatened tariffs on any country that supplies fuel to the island. The island of 9.6 million inhabitants has been under a U.S. trade embargo since 1962, enduring years of economic crisis marked by extended power cuts and shortages of fuel, medicine and food.